Hello, I'm Melissa Milburn, and I'm here at the Future in Review conference with Jeff Hudson from Venafi. And Jeff's going to tell us a little bit about the company.
Okay, so I've got to educate you a little. So this isn't like I can just give you a two-sentence thing. I got to educate you because what we do is fundamental, but most people don't know about it. So you know when you log onto a computer, you use a username and password?
Right.
And that's how the computer really actually knows who you are, if you think about it that way. The computer now trusts you. But then if you think about what that computer, that laptop is going to do, it's going to talk to servers and gateways and other servers and literally hundreds of thousands of machines after that. Well, the question is, how do they log on to other machines? How do they know whether or not they should be trusting other machines? So there's this little obscure technology that was created back in the mid-90s called a certificate, a digital certificate, or an SSH key or an encryption key. And those are the things that authenticate and then encrypt the information that flows around inside this network of computers. So it's kind of machine to machine or application to machine. The problem is that all those things got put on these computers organically, and they create the network of trust of all those machines. The problem is that nobody's managing that. And the bad guys know this. So the PLA knows this. And so what they're doing is they're actually attacking the lack of management of all of these little trust instruments. And they're using that to get in and steal people's intellectual property and compromise their machines. So what we do is we give people software to control, secure, and protect enterprise keys and certificates.
Okay.
So how's that for a short answer?
Okay, so tell me then, so what challenge exactly are you solving here?
Okay, so it's trust. How do you trust? How do you trust a network of computers? How do you make sure that when you put information into it, it isn't taken by somebody that isn't authorized? So what we do is we help manage and control the trust in the machine-to-machine part of this whole thing. Okay. So just like you asked somebody who ran IT or information security for a large corporation, said, do you know all the usernames and passwords? And of course we do, because that's what gives access to systems. I said, well, do you know how many certificates you have? They say, I have no idea. So what we do is two things. One is we help people understand where all these things are, what they give access to, and then we automate the process of fixing them when they find things that aren't trustworthy so they can kick them out and replace them with things that are good.
All right. So say 5 years from now, how do you think that your business is going to make this world a better place?
So I think we have a really sorry state of our digital realms today. You know, so much of our lives are wrapped up in the digital world. And that, we don't think about securing it and trusting it and how we trust it. If I ask you, how do you secure your house? You'd say locks and keys and doors and alarms and cameras and all that stuff, the physicalness of it. But if I ask you, well, how does a big bank secure its network? And you wouldn't know, right? And so, and the bad guys know this, because if your house is going to get broken into, it's when you're not home, when you're not looking. If your purse is going to get picked, it's when you're not paying attention. So today we don't pay attention to these things. They're not in the forefront of our mind, but they form the backbone of trust of all these systems in the digital realm we're building. And so my vision is, long term, that we really develop a high level of trust so that when we use these systems, we know that our information is safe. It's not going to get stolen. We know that systems will be available. The lights will stay on. And we will know that as companies and organizations, when we have intellectual property that we put in the digital realms, it's not going to be stolen.
Great. Well, Venafi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Melissa.
And we're glad you're a FiReStarter this year, and we look forward to great things from your company.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
We're really
you.
happy to be here.